Well, I gotta tell you, it's been quite a run for me personally since 1976-77 when I joined Jack Blades in a band called Rubicon. Now, it was quite a little scene back there because they had 40 guys auditioning for this band. They actually gave the gig to Danny Chauncey, the guitar player from 38 Special. Now, Danny and I lived in the same town, Alameda, California. They gave him the cassettes of these songs to learn, and I was the last one to go in, and it was so funny because I went in and had a great time with Jack on stage, jumping around back and forth, and Jack liked it that I was kind of meshing with them on stage. I had their little powwow with Jerry Martini after my little audition, and Jerry turned around and said, "Who's going to get the cassette back from Danny?" So that's when I knew I got the gig. Of course, that turned into a couple years with Rubicon, and then we broke up and started a band called Stereo. Played around the San Francisco Bay Area, did pretty well there, but it wasn't really our scene. We were kind of into wanting to play rock and roll. We were kind of stuck into that new wave vein. Well, it turned out we did our little Stereo scene for a year or so, and then we decided to break up the band and move on. So Jack and Kelly and I stayed together and wanted to get a keyboard player, Alan Fitzgerald, in the band. We got Fitz in the band, and he brought on a guy named Jeff Watson living in Sacramento and said, you know, we got to get Jeff in the band and start doing twin guitars. So at that point it was going to be twin lead vocals and twin lead guitars, and we really dug that idea. Went in the first day rehearsing with, as we were called, Ranger back then. We actually got together 7 songs then, and it was great because we knew that was going to definitely be happening after that first day. Well, sure enough, we started getting together, put down demos, and started shopping for a record deal. And 2 years later, boom, we got our record deal and moved on to start our tour with Kiss and Black Sabbath and Cheap Trick and ZZ Top. And we went right from being an opening act into where Sister Christian ended up being a hit single. Now, I'll never forget the day pulling into La Crosse, Wisconsin in 1984 when Sister Christian was heading up on the charts, and looking up, pulling in our bus in La Crosse and looking up at the marquee at the Coliseum, it said Night Ranger sold out. Everyone freaked out. This was a pinnacle for Night Ranger to actually have our first sold out headlining show. Of course, we had a great show that night. Everybody was elated that, you know, we were selling out. Boom, all of a sudden we started touring and doing between 5,000 and 15,000 people a night, and that's when Night Ranger began its heavy touring season from 1984 to 1989.